Well, welcome back to Inside. We're here with Aging and Home Services of Northeast Indiana. Megan and Jessica are here. We've been talking about how two become one, and so many of our older American couples are dependent on one another. If something happens to one of them, then they need some help, and that's where Aging and Home Services of Northeast Indiana comes in. So how do people get, we've mentioned some of the services you provide, but how do people get those services?
Well, I want to throw it out there that there's several ways to contact us. So whether you prefer a phone call, whether you prefer that face-to-face interaction, or you just want maybe a social worker to fax over some information to us or email us. There's 4 different ways that you can get a hold of us. So like I said, you can call our ADRC, our Aging and Disability Resource Center, directly. The phone number is 260-469-3036, and you'll be connected with one of our options counselors. We do have I like to hand out our fax referral form just because it has a lot of questions on this. And we are going to be asking very intrusive questions. We're going to ask about income, assets. Some programs we need a social security number. It can be very scary to give out that information. We certainly understand that. But you can certainly call us. You can walk in, fax, email, and what we'll do is our options counselors will talk with you. We're very big on person-centered, so whether you just need guidance, maybe a little bit of understanding, or maybe some resources, maybe you want to see if you qualify for our services. Our options counselors are all there to help through that process.
And you, a couple things, you guys are at your newer location, which is the old PHP building. It's 8101 West Jefferson.
Absolutely.
Right, right there by 69, so you can't miss it. And the reason you're asking these questions, it's not because you're nosy, it's not because you're going to do anything you shouldn't with that information, it's so that you can provide them with exactly what they need.
Right, exactly. So we're looking, like I said, we're going to meet them where they're at.
Yes.
Physically and emotionally. So if we complete that assessment piece, we ask all of our questions, and they want to see if they qualify for our services, we're going to send out an options counselor or a case manager. And we're going to meet them, if they're in a nursing facility, if they're at home, assisted living, wherever, we will meet them where they're most comfortable at. So we're meeting them physically where they're at, but we're also going to meet them emotionally. So if they're not ready to go to a nursing home, that's really where we step in, we provide them with resources. If they're not really ready to sign up for our services, they're not ready to provide us with income and asset information, we can adjust what they do provide to us to make sure that what we are providing is for them.
Where does the funding come from for all of these programs that you do provide?
There's a lot of different funding sources, which is why, as Jessie says, the questions to get those funds are a little bit intrusive, because we're mandated from the funding sources. So there's different programs, federal government, state programs, even local programs that there are dollars available. It just really depends on, of course, income, things like that, but then also your needs. You're trying to get down to pinpoint what is the problem and going from there.
And that's why all of our case managers and our options counselors, they're really trained on how to ask these questions in a very sensitive way. And Megan did mention sometimes our programs are also limited. Maybe you have to pay a portion of your care too. So I wanted to make sure that that was also there as well. But on top of asking about income and assets, that's to see if they would qualify for our services. We're also going to ask, what are they wanting? What is the ideal picture as they do grow older in the home? What does that look like for them? We're going to ask them questions about their goals. Maybe it's something silly. I had a client once that I was working with, and she wanted to be able to knit, and her fine motor skills were really affected. And to her, that was very important. So we walked through, what can we do? How can we start little steps so that you can meet those goals?
It's what's important to them. That's what matters.
Absolutely.
So that they can be happy and healthy at home. That's what they're doing at Aging and Home Services. Well, we are going to wrap up our conversation about June brides coming up next. Stick with us. We'll be right back.